Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at the Lone Star Clinic in College Station, here with the evening's entertainment. The speaker tonight from your Hutto Hippos, it's Coach Brad LaPlante. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how's it
going?
going?
Are you nervous about tonight, the presentation tonight?
No, it's going to be good.
What is your talk on?
A little bit of offense, some run game, play action, RPOs.
You know a little bit about offense.
We've had a very nice offense created by some awesome kids and a great staff. Yes, we have.
So I want to ask you about 2019. Another solid year for the program. It feels like to me, and this is from the outsider's perspective, it feels like now the Hutto program has momentum. It feels like this is a program that there's now that expectation of greatness as opposed to, hey, let's go out there and surprise people. Are you feeling the same way from within too?
Well, I think so. We've been in the playoffs since 2014. That's a nice run. Not a lot of teams can say that. So we're part of a very nice elite group of teams that can. But, of course, we got that move to 6A.
Yeah.
And so we need to figure out who our guys are going to be. And, we lost some very good ones, a lot of skilled kids last year. And we'll certainly have to build some depth going up into 6A. But, man, we love our kids, and they're having a great off season, and they're ready for it. They want to be challenged for it. And, of course, the exciting part is that it's a whole new group of teams that you haven't played before.
Well, and you mentioned it, look, realignment, you guys are making the leap from 5A up to 6A. You landed in District 25 6A. Just overall, when the alignments came out, there was a lot of talk. You guys could go a lot of different places. Right. Overall, what's your feel for where you guys landed?
Well, I think we fit in well with the teams that we're paired with. Certainly we like the proximity for travel, and certainly that's great for our fans. But Region 4 was kind of a nice surprise that, everybody thought if we were going to get Region 4 that you'd have to go through the likes of Austin Westlake and Lake Travis and that tough district. But we know being in 25 6A, we're going to have to play week in and week out. And talking about offense, we better score. You saw some 70s in that league last year, so we best be ready.
Well, and you mentioned the move up and the off season. Do you guys talk about that? Are you talking about that? Is that something that you are making sure is front of mind, or is it just, hey, we're just going out there playing football, it doesn't matter who's across the field?
Well, I mean, you can control what you can control. You can worry about everybody else all day, but let's control what we can control. And I'm not going to downplay who we get to play, because they're good teams, but when you've faced the Shadow Creeks, when you've faced the Fosters, when you've had the Fort Bend Marshalls, and you've had those tests, we feel that, even though it's going to be tougher week in and week out, it's not something that's, relatively new to our kids, because they've been through some tough battles.
It's still early, but do you have a feel for, when you looked at 2020 Hippos, do you have a feel on what you feel like your team's going to hang their hat on? What is it that the part of this team that you feel like that's the strength of our team, that's where we're going to be best?
Well, I think coming into it, certainly it's going to be the defensive line. The Landon Watsons of the world and Braylon Sugg joining him. We'll hang our hat on that. We do have 4 or 5 offensive line guys that either started or got a lot of playing experience last year. And then, of course, you have Grayson Doggett coming back for his second year as quarterback. So those are probably 3 big areas that we'll certainly count on to lead our team. But ultimately, for us, it's probably going to be our sophomore class, how they develop. We've got a really nice freshman class next year to be sophomores that we may rely on them to fill in a lot of the gaps, especially in the skill area, building depth, and special teams.
So you think maybe veteran in the trenches, younger, explosive on the outside?
Yes, if you look up and down our roster and watched our last few games, of course, when we got to our last few games, we had 5 or 6 people that were out by the time we got to Shadow Creek, unfortunately for those guys. But we'll have a lot of young kids playing receiver, running back, DB to fill it out next year.
You are famous here at TexasFootball.com. You're the guy with the Snickers beforehand. How was the Snickers game this year? Do you feel like Snickers still as good as it ever was, or do you feel like it's lost a step?
I think it may have lost a step because I wanted to play a few more games. So I've got a couple in the drawer. I've got to look at the born-on date to see if they're going to last till next year, I guess. But no, they worked just fine. If you would have thought we would get to 9 wins with all the inexperience that we had coming back, people might have taken that right off. So we're really proud of our kids and where they got to be.
And by the way, I get text messages almost every week with a photo of a Snickers bar from you.
Can't be a liar.
That's fine.